All right. Let me go ahead and start getting everything sorted here in terms of the operation. We have Oddball and Catz on command today. And based off of how this is worded, it's going to be Bluefor on Poland and Op4 on Belarus. Alright. And we'll go ahead and get that set up for 15 minutes. Alright, guys, so, one last thing to do. Let me make sure I just mute myself locally because of TeamSpeak updates and whatnot. But we have High Command Season 2 for our second week here. Oh, does it still say DayZ? Yes, it does. My bad. Hold on. I am so sorry about that. That didn't update properly. I'm sorry, Ham. DayZ will be on Friday. It is currently Tuesday. Righto, Ham. Nonetheless, we've got High Command. We're going to be doing the PvP season for High Command Season 2 on all the Tuesdays going forward for, I think, the next 2 months. The previous one lasted, I think, 3 months. But nonetheless, we're going to be carrying on with Week 2. This week is going to be Oddball versus Catz. Catz is going to be taking the lead on, if we check the player count, I believe Op4. So he'll be starting on the red side. Meanwhile, Catz taking Op4's side, Bluefor being led by Oddball. So here is the deal. It is 2 sectors and a terminal site. The hilltop sector, which is right here, you can tell by the terrain areas here, that is worth 4 points. The second sector in the village here is worth 3, and then a terminal in this back corner is also worth 3. How betting works in High Command is whichever side scores the most points by the end wins. So since we have 2 sectors worth 3 points and 1 worth 4, it's just going to be a matter of whoever has 2 out of the 3 objectives by the end of the mission. Sectors, if you have the number advantage in the sector as the attacker, that counts a 90-second timer. If that 90-second timer expires, you take the sector. Defenders can't take back the sector. If at any time you lose the number advantage in the sector stops and is reset. Did I just hear a game ping? No, I have the soundbite still on. I'm a goober. All right. that took me a second because I was in the middle of my thoughts there. But all right, let me get that switched out. And then, of course, the terminal site is pretty simple. As long as someone interacts with the terminal on the attacking side, any defender can interrupt that terminal and it'll be reset. But that is also, I believe, a 90-second timer by default, but they could have changed it to a 2-minute timer. That is the sound of the groups going in. So, by the way, actually, we'll have access to this information in the stream, so I'll go ahead and get that set. One moment. All right, cool. So, round has started. These are going to be 60-minute rounds because they're using the FNF framework, but again, it is different. So, otherwise, we've got Op4 going here. Op4 is going to be a Belarusian force, so mainly AK-based. We saw them with AK-12s last week, and it looks like that is going to continue. We also have a nice set of vehicles here, and then you can see the choices that they have for this operation, but otherwise starting with Op4, if we go over the mission details, let's actually just go through everything real quick. So you've got both sectors and the terminal there attacking. Op4 is, Bluefor defending. Brief mission details: 1,500 meters of render distance, 175 fortified points. The fortify color for the fortifications is going to be green, and it's a 55-minute round. So it's 10 minutes of safe start and then 55 minutes to actually go. These are all just plug-in information, and then they've got an OCAP going about everything. We don't need to go over that, though. And then something blank in there. But regardless, Belarusian forces, we got that AK-12. They got their own PKP. Invalid DLC licenses detected. Oh. That's not good. They're on sale right now. All right, otherwise they've got access to 5 transport vehicles and 2 gases. On top of that, they can either pick either 2 BTR-80 Alphas with those 20mm, those might be 30mm autocannons, or 2 BTR-80s and a KA-60 with an M134 minigun. Not a bad choice, but it doesn't have any camera capabilities for a co-pilot to utilize stuff, so this would just be a close air support vehicle with only a 7.62 minigun. I'm gonna be honest, 9 out of 10 times air support isn't really the most effective thing to see, but you also have transport capability in the back and can quickly redeploy squads in the AO, which isn't that good because Bluefor starting with control over all of the areas here. But regardless, let's keep looking over everything that Op4 has in terms of weaponry. We also have SVDs in place, RPG-7s, and then a medium anti-tank team having Carl Gustavs here. Catz leading Op4, Gerald leading Boyer, one with Defroy, and Audrey Sepp with him. Looks like their marksman is going to be a scoped Car 98. What is that abomination with a medium? that in PvP against assault rifles. Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's see how that goes. All right, Wojak beating an AT-man, Settler being a secondary guy there for Boyer 2. Dima 2 has Korvac, Sismo, Lolo, and Bajokovic. Lana 1 has Jack, Ash, and Rizbo. Elda 2 has Banks and Tackleberry. Fedin looks like has merged everyone together. Strago leading Rambo Bambo, Rocky 19, Vexen, Maxic, Thomas, and Monkey. Fedin 2 has Wiki Quartz, Catboy, and Grizzowski. Golf 1 has Utapu and Iander, and Hotel 1 has Malin, Cullis, Nick, and Nemesis. Somewhere in there, I'm assuming, is a medium anti-tank rifle as well, but I don't know, man. That Car 98 scope, that is something else, bro. Otherwise, Bluefor forces here, we have Polish forces, so they've got ACRs with their UKP, basically their own version of the PKP, or it's like a UCP or something. They also have SVDs and then their own RPGs. They have a static Stinger launcher. Yeah, so there's no point in taking that helicopter if they have access to a freaking Stinger, and then 3-star transport trucks. They also have additional choices of either taking an autocannon vehicle or 250 cal Vics, a minesweeper, and some bonus material here in a 50 cal Humvee. So that's interesting, to say the least. We'll see what else the defenders have, but here I can actually tab out and give you an exact listing of what is in there. So it's either you can pick the autocannon vehicle, which is the Rosamac, or 2 BRDMs, which are these 2 vehicles, a Land Rover Panama ROV. So this is a drone. And it also gives you a cargo box with 2 UAV terminals to use that drone. And then you also get the 50 cal Humvee, which I'm gonna be honest, if you had the crewmen to take that 50 cal Humvee, it wouldn't be too bad. Same with the BRDMs, because this weapon can penetrate into BTR-80 alphas. But I think this is only like a 70-minute match. Or not a 70-minute, 70-person match. So it's only like 35v35, give or take. So they might not have all of the crewmen to take all of those vehicle slots. So instead, just sticking with a single autocannon that they can just use with a scope from range would be a potentially better call. However, this is a pretty massive AO here. Nonetheless, Oddball is going to command in Bluefor. Alpha 1 has Fawns, Henry, T, and Bursty, with Alpha 2 having Crazy Pupper and Snodgebear. Bravo 1 has Nuzzy, Nolek, Mangario, and Pierce. Bravo 2 has NASA, Lolo, Zixmi, and Demavar. Charlie 1 has Rigel, Misano, Ivnomain, Revi, and Wonder. And then we skip down to Foxtrot 2, which just has Duotone and Killer. Golf 1 has Twig, King, Sai, and Jasper. Hotel 1 has Dennis, Callie, Kreme, and Pogo. And Delta 1 has Samuel, Kajonovich, Oren, and Comms. Just wondering if he has... Nope, he just has a regular RPG. I don't know where Op4's medium anti-tank weapon is, but I'd imagine it's probably somewhere near Iander at this point. Regardless, terminal site in a little bit of a fortification over here. We do see some Bluefor members that are going to be actively patrolling the forested area around that position. Meanwhile, it looks like most of Bluefor are going to be trying to set up here. However, we do see an explosive specialist. I think he's going to try to put a satchel. Oh, he's setting up mines. Oh. Oh, no. So they're just going to mine Sector 1. And it looks like they're primarily holding Sector 2. So again, How this works, Sector 1 is worth 4 points, Sector 2 is worth 3 points, and the terminal site is worth 3 points. So whoever has 2 out of the 3 objectives by the end of the round, even if one side completely wipes the other, is going to be the winner. So if Op4 takes Sector 1, gets everyone killed but still takes Sector 2, but they fully wipe, Op4 still wins, just to give you guys an example. Meanwhile, if Bluefor lose one objective but keep 2 others, they win. This isn't FNF rules, it is HK's own rules, so I just want to be clear on that when you put bets down today, because HK has a slightly different rule set compared to FNF, even though it looks like they're using similar framework. Actually, I think they're using the exact same framework, but I digress. There are different rules. You're saving your resub for Plinko, you know. Let's see if my camera's still on. That ain't a bad choice, buddy. We'll be doing DayZ again on Friday. I think that's July 5th. Yeah, so I probably won't be staying that late, though, because Saturday at 1 p.m. we start that Arma 3 24-hour operation. So I wouldn't rely on any secondary streams for DayZ this weekend, because it's going to be 24 hours of Arma 3 ops. 8 3-hour mission files. It's going to be something. Yeah, and then boom, here comes Ian.
Hello, BB.
Hey, Ian, how's your break going? Hope everything's okay with you, buddy. I'm sure you'll get back to work after the 4th of July. Hope you're enjoying it, my friend. Thank you for dropping by here. Hope you enjoy the PvP today, and I hope you enjoy your entire week off, buddy. All right, so Op was opened up 3 minutes ago, so I think they only had 5 minutes of safe start, not 10. Meanwhile, Op4, it looks like they've been going around south for a massive push around. Bluefor, meanwhile, looks like they've got multiple forces on recon here. We have a group of 2 watching north, another group of 2 watching the western side here and the north here, and then another group of 2 watching south, trying to get over here to get on this open area here, and it is 1,500 meters of render distance. So trying to measure myself out. I mean, yeah, as long as I can see that vehicle at the edge of the map over there, this is roughly the render range. So we've got pretty much everything optimized for what we would see on the player side here. So these 2 might be able to spot stuff coming around. The Rosmark is over here. That is the Bluefor autocannon vehicle they chose. It is currently looking south. That could be deployed somewhere and potentially pick off any Op4 elements coming in. I don't think it has access to any HE rounds. I think it's purely AP, but I could be wrong about that. And I'm assuming Op4 chose the BTR-80 Alphas, because I don't see a helicopter in the air. And they did, and they are just hunkered down behind here. Looks like they had a casualty of some sort, and they're just waiting around back here. So Elna has access to both of those. So you got Ash in that one, Lolo in the other one. So either they're being solo crewed or they're having an issue with personnel right now. It's hard to say. Losing at Overwatch? Oof. Sorry, buddy. Is the op I announced today based off of YTV? Yes, it is based off of something else. I'll get into that on another day, though, for tomorrow's op. I thought we could use a day from Starbreak, or a break from Stargate for a week or 2, because I need to get those other ops out there, and we're not going to be hosting that much over the next week because of the 24-hour operation. I make you sick? I'm sorry I gave you COVID, Sea Turtle. All right, Bluefor otherwise sticking around here. The interesting thing about this play is Op4, it looks like they're going to try to be using... I actually can't tell what they're going to be doing, because when you look at the map here, you got all these forested areas. Because I try not to utilize my Zeus camera to predict, you know, how units are going to go, because the information that the commanders are using is literally the map. So we see that Op4 are coming south, but there's all of these open kill zones that Bluefor could set up on to defend against the southern push. What I'm curious about is, has they noticed the elements over here? And they do have magnified optics as well for these long-range fights, but based on the fact they're looking in Op4's direction, I'm going to assume they spotted something coming. And we do see that Bluefor have turned quite a bit around over here, and they're digging fortifications in the open. That's kind of silly, because if you get pinned down and you need to pull back, you don't really have any room to pull back. I mean, here, from where they're digging, it looks like they would probably pop a smoke grenade and then run into the low ground here, and then just make a break for the tree line. But unless you build like a tunnel or something, not a tunnel, but like, you know, a trench would be a better term. It's very easy to get yourself pinned in this position and cut down, so a little silly to be doing that. They should be doing it on the tree lines, but I guess they're doing it because they want the elevation to overlook everything. But very high risk versus high reward if they're able to hold that position or not, but still. I think Op4 is genuinely trying to sneak a force on the map border and either move up and take Terminal 3 from the rear or develop a pincer maneuver to get onto Sector 2. But it's clear that Op4 wants to start with the southern sector and then potentially branch off. Bluefor, I like their strategy. They've really divided themselves, but I think this is going to be a mobile strategy of whenever one group takes contact, they're going to be pulling forces from other flanks to come in. Op4, it would be better if they had this other force on a different angle to really capitalize on Bluefor having to pull around. But again, it's about a 35v35 right now, so tough to say. We got some people back here. I don't know if they'll be TP'd up or what, but you got the BTR-80 Alphas coming in as well. I'm gonna be honest, I think the Rosmac is gonna outperform both of those 80 Alphas because it does have the ability to scope in, but we'll have to see. Definitely see that it's just kind of waiting in the back line to be told where Op4 is, and then it might redeploy. But I think it's only waiting till it has confirmation on where the 80 Alphas are, so it can then move in to flank those. First firefight's going to be right here. 3 Bluefor with a medium machine gun versus a massive amount of Op4. We've got 3 on scouting, and then a group of 7 or 8 coming up back here. I think if Bluefor can properly predict that the force is coming, which they already have, and find good defensive positions to create a kill zone, they can definitely box out the 3, but the remaining, you know, 9 coming in. Let me do a head count. Yeah, it's 8. So this is 11 versus 3. With the 80 Alpha coming up to flank. The Rosmac can come up to counter, but it's a very scary fight. But if Bluefor can pull out a net positive in this, I think they'll be good. You see Nuzzy trying to poke his head out here. He's got the Pitbull sight on top of his weapon. I think he just called out those 2. Another thing is they could let some of Op4 come in and then box them in the middle with grenades and whatnot, but that increases the likelihood of them getting hit. But it looks like they just tried to engage the tip of them. And we immediately see Nuzzy, since he was up, get flanked and shot from the left. So this attack going a little bit poorly for Bluefor in terms of their ambush. And you immediately see them pulling back after losing a guy.
Go Team 6 now.
Not a good call there.
Prepare for the minefield.
It has Southwest. It was in the beginning, but there will be a second one. But Obsidian, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for the 3-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, my friend, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Alright. Got the 80 Alpha. Its engine is still on. It's looking in that direction, though. It might get an angle on some of the Bluefor moving back, but, I mean, we got a hill and we got a lot of foliage in the way. But now that Bluefor know a direction where Op4 is coming from, we could very well see them start to push units out there. If Bluefor keeps this really spaced out angle, though, that really does open them up to being defeated in detail. Granted, they only need to get it right twice. As in, one group of 3 is able to throw 1 lucky grenade to get a multi-kill here, and then the second time is one group needs to be able to get a multi-kill over here, but these guys seem to be divided in 2 groups. So I'd imagine either they're going to pincer maneuver Sector 2, or this group's is going to bypass, go to Sector 3, and then either assist at Sector 2, or go hit Sector 1. Ideally, because both teams rely on the points they score on these 2 rounds, because the second round is going to be Catz defending on Bluefor and Oddball is going to be attacking. whoever wins the week is put in a better position for the rest of the campaign, but you want to basically score all the points you can while attacking and then hold everything as you can in defending to guarantee that you do better that week. Now you got Op4 slowly encroaching as Bluefor completely pulling back here. We'll see how the Rosmuk is put in, but Bluefor seem adamant about holding this far angle here. Oddball still alive. He's in a bit of a centralized position. More leaning north, but he's in the middle of all three sectors, so he should be able to control the defensive strategy here. Then we have a three-man group coming down. We just sort of misfire over here from one of the Op4 elements, so that might tip Bluefor off that there are forces in that direction. What I'm curious about, though, is can we see this autocannon get put up in any area to potentially limit Op4's ability to advance? Because I'm going to be honest, this position's well hidden, yeah, but it doesn't really have any good sight lines to really capitalize on the open areas that Op4 has to push down in. If it was over to the left or whatnot, it would have at least a better sight line of where it was right now. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of room for Op4 to advance here. Meanwhile, Bluefor are kind of caught in a bad position. You see that they've dug some new trenches here. And you do have a marksman right here kind of waiting to see what comes out. That's the bolt action, right? Yeah, so I think this is meant to be equalized to the Kar 98 on Op4's side, which, let me just check that again real quick. Yeah, no, that is literally a Kar 98. Or is it a Mosin? It's either a scoped Mosin or a Kar 98. It should be a Mosin, now that I think about it. But it looks so similar to a frickin' 98, man. And it's okay, Southwest again. There'll be a second round for betting. I think what we'll start to see is after there's a more solid firefight on the southern line, you'll start to see everything push south to hold it. Because if Oddball doesn't, he's going to lose. We do see a pretty nice defensive line set up here. I think the 80 Alphas are going to be forced to move in. That's going to probably prompt this vehicle to come around, but then Op4 might have a position to immediately flank and destroy that autocannon, Vic. And if Op4 is able to maintain autocannon control over this entire scenario, that puts him in a really good objective to win. K98 has no visible mag unlike that, so it's a Mosin. Got it. Thank you for the difference. Yeah. Quickly. Honey, I'm streaming. Your nails look great. They are cute. I will start dinner after the stream, okay? Thank you for showing them off. All right. I love you. Goober. All right. But again, the biggest question I have is how is Op4 going to transition into this open area here? Huh? Yeah, because it's a PvP interface. It's for commentating, not Zeusing.
Like an overlay on a sports game?
Yes.
That's cool.
All right, we have engagement on the right. Bluefor getting caught in the open. We see a lot of people immediately shredded. So this is what I was worried about with Op4 moving through all these open areas that I pointed out, is if they get caught in the open with these, they're going to immediately be cut down. And that is where Bluefor needs to capitalize on this. DayZ will be on Friday, Obsidian. I know the stream, I think, said DayZ. It's because the server didn't update the title properly. Look at that GL round taking out another guy, and we have that guy combat rolling out. We have 3 wounded on the field. Settler being the only one left alive. That is 5 Op4 down, with no Bluefor wounded or KIA. We do see a few shot, actually, so there are some light wounds, but nothing to actually knock them out. Could see some additional Op4 wake up. Looks like 1 out of the 3 did. They've got some smoke cover here, but that is what I was worried about for Op4, because when we were watching them come from that southern advance, we have these massive open areas that Bluefor can then lock down. So what I'm worried about now is how is Op4 going to get through this open area? We have Bluefor locking down the one forested area, and then we got these roaming hills here, and we have some more Bluefor in play, and we do have shots fired. So I'm wondering if these guys are going to be able to also assist, because they, well, most of them have scoped weapons. I guess this chucklehead forgot to take it off, but What does scare me, though, is the autocannon vehicle. It's pulled up to be in position here, but we have a very big potential issue here. But I don't see any AT on Op4. Oh, no. They don't have anything to deal... Wait, what about this last guy? Yeah, these guys have no AT to deal with that autocannon. And I think Drago just realized it, so these guys are going to have to sneak away from that vehicle because they have no way to counter it. If they try to GL it, the autocannon is just going to turn and immediately engage and pull away. They could bluff it, but... Now we have the 80 Alpha pushing up. It is suppressing these positions. That's going to keep Bluefor pinned down. We see one of them gets wounded on the legs somehow. But you saw he was over here instead of behind one of the... Okay. Are those mortars or are those just random shots? No, those are mortars. Oh, no. Who's the mortar gunner? Nemesis. Oh, he might actually be able to be effective with that. I think he's shelling the... Oh. Wah, wah, wah. No, those are landing a little forward. Yeah, his aim's off. He was totally going for a west to east mortar attack, but the rounds fell short, probably because of wind resistance. Meanwhile, additional Bluefor members have pushed up, and Boyer, one survivor, Settler, has come up. He's now trying to put GLs. He gets a knockout from it, and I'm not sure if Bluefor knows where that's coming from. Settler walked the map border up, and meanwhile, we've got... Are you kidding? He's ripped one of the wheels off, and it looks like they see his radio antenna. He's gonna keep ripping wheels off. Are you kidding? They had no AT, but they had a toolkit. And he's gonna keep ripping the wheels off. This is Op4 ground command doing this, by the way. Can you imagine if your ground commander was like, yeah, no, we don't have any AT. I got this, bro. He runs up and immediately starts ripping the wheels off the vehicle because the vehicle had no odds. And now look, more of his infantry are coming up. So it looks like the Bluefor that were in the open here got gunned down because they didn't have anywhere to run because it was an enemy freaking vehicle. Op4 lost a chunk of infantry here, but you got one guy just cast or cursed him. Okay, he's gone. But regardless, now Op4 is starting to get their foot in the door, and he has ripped off 4 wheels on one side, and he's going to continue. I didn't know PvP could be hosted in Denver, Detroit, but here we are. And this gunner's just kind of looking around going like, what do I do? He's never fought tactics like these. Double taps going on that body. He's making that gunner constantly turn. Shame there isn't an internal texture with this turnout piece. Otherwise, he could get up and look in the hatch and kill the gunner. And he's now backed away because he's ripped out 4 of the wheels on one side and 1 on the other. So this is sufficiently neutralized in terms of mobility. So I'm not sure we count that as a mobility kill, but definitely isn't moving anytime soon. Oh, we got some more Bluefor that have turned here. This is Henry trying to get some knockouts here. We do have 2 knockouts on the side. Could be brought back up, though. Henry does have a machine gun. And the fire rate of that... And he's dead. Okay, never mind. Could still wake back up. Now you got Catz looking into the next sector. And he's going for it. I guess he's tired of waiting for Op4 to move in, but he's lost an entire flank of infantry here. I'd imagine they were supposed to continue on to go to Terminal 3, but he's got 2 groups of infantry. And he's got the BTR-80 Alphas. Looks like these 2 woke back up. One of them gets gunned down immediately. And Catz is just reconning by fire here. As it looks like these guys now have shooting positions to knock out some of Op4 that are over here. Looks like they took cover on this side to fight against those 2 infantry members. And now they're getting knocked out. So So he's calling that up. He takes another hit. And Catz is just rushing in, and it looks like he's ordered one of his BTR-80 Alphas to push up. And where is Bluefor's AT? It's tucked away back here in the form of an RPG. Autocannon starts firing. We do have an AP hit on the arms, but he is not dead. They're clearing out that building there. RPG gunner doesn't know where to go here. That's Fonz. This is making everyone get their heads down. This is giving OpFor an opportunity to move in. We do still have that mortar online, though. Other BTR is transitioning around. And Nemesis looks like he's waiting for more orders. That appears to be a 60mm mortar. So OpFor with a decent Overwatch position, but it's not needed. Now they just need to funnel in his infantry and just come up behind the BTR-80 Alpha here. So we got some PKT fire coming onto these corners. It is just focusing on suppressing. Man's arms are getting treated for a AP round going through them. I mean, yeah, just grab some arms from the ground, reattach them. They should be fine, right? And now you've got Catz here just sitting down and waiting for the rest of OpFor to push in. I'm a little worried because we're seeing one of the 80 Alphas push ahead with no infantry support. It can get hit by an RPG. I'd imagine we could see infantry mount up in this 80 Alpha and just charge into the sector at this point. But the infantry here are being way too slow for that to happen. Bluefor, meanwhile, we got two knockouts here. Now Nemesis is over range and is firing late, but it looks like they're just trying to bomb rounds right inside. BTR-80 Alpha gets hit, and the engine is dead in the water. Crew immediately bails out. And Bluefor can't seem to fire over their trenches because they're too high. Grenades going in. That gets a knockout on the one of the RPG gunners. However, we see one of the crewmen immediately gets knocked out and killed by an SVD. And now Catz is charging in ahead because the rest of OpFor just isn't moving in. Bluefor, meanwhile, sending a flanking force. And we have more Bluefor coming in via this truck. And OpFor command was just taken out. And again, it's because OpFor, for whatever reason, we're not seeing the rest of them maneuver in. So now OpFor's trickling in and being defeated in detail. We see this group has 3 men down. It looks like they're focusing on trying to get them up. They do have a medic working on them. And then this group just only now is starting to trickle a little bit of their forces around. Some, again, are staying on this Overwatch position, but there's no point because there's no Bluefor to engage from this position. So what I think we're going to see now for the rest of the round is this force is going to come in, get all the flanks and eliminate that group. They're going to run into the front element of this group. Maybe this group will catch up to assist them in time. But I think Bluefor is just going to systematically eliminate the rest of OpFor. Because again, these guys are finding reasons to stay here. They see some Bluefor all the way out there. So they're going to try to engage them instead of just moving up with the rest of their force here. They're just kind of making it pointless to be up there. And I don't see anyone in the Rosmec. Okay, no, they do have someone in the Rosmec. Looks like he got out, and he put a majority of the wheels back on the vehicle. That's Oddball running up to get his vehicle back in order. I'm surprised we didn't see any mag dumping of the wheels to destroy them, so that they couldn't just mount all the wheels back in. Looks like they've got all but one of the wheels up, so maybe it clipped onto something when they were trying to reattach it. But now Bluefor have their autocannon vehicle back online. I'm just curious here. So Zixmi's all the way back here. He was one of the top players in the last season of HK with one of the highest kill counts. So he is a player to watch. We see now Bluefor just knocking over some of these and moving back with Bluefor command. He's going to probably put that in the village or somewhere to overwatch the village to help prevent OpFor from pushing in. OpFor had the momentum, and then, I guess, fell to the Overwatch fallacy of having so many people in here doing nothing, and then a bunch of people got caught in a long-range fight. They were able to get some knockouts, but with so many people knocked out, they weren't able to move in, and I guess Catz got fed up with that and pushed in, thinking support was coming, and it simply wasn't. He then had a BTR-80 Alpha come up to create a spearhead, and it just, nothing came to assist. So because of that inefficient maneuvering by Op4, this has given Bluefor the opportunity to redeploy their forces. They still have some static point security, which I greatly appreciate, but everything else now is going for the fight here. That's all they need at this point. So now we've got some vehicles staying back, some infantry still staying back. I have no idea why Dima 2 was out here. Either they're going to try to do a massive maneuver around to another sector as like just a backup option. But now you got Bluefor starting to counterattack. You got 3 knockouts immediately, with 1 on the double tap. You got more Bluefor coming around, and they're just going to box in these remaining Op4. They're immediately spotted and start taking fire, so this assault has been nullified for a bit, but this is just going to give Bluefor time to regroup and sufficiently push this area. And even if they lose, they've already taken out a good chunk of infantry. Statistics-wise, they're at least going to get a few more pickoffs. That means they trade it evenly, and then whatever decides to move into Sector 2 is going to have to fight a hefty garrison. And I think Zixme just got the pickoff right there on somebody. He does have a kill that might have been from earlier, though. Now you got Op4 counterattacking, but they definitely seem less organized. You only have a few guys trickling in to try to throw grenades. A few shots get on Malin. We have another Op4 member here. Nick kind of pulls his shots a bit. Good grenade throw. Doesn't get behind the tree, though, so it doesn't do any damage, unfortunately. More grenades going out. I think that one is going to get Nick. Yep, and he is taken out by a grenade. You got the other 80 Alpha now coming around to try to provide some assistance here, but Wonder has AT in the form of an RPG, so he could find an angle and hit that BTR 80 Alpha head on. And that is where the engine is located, because the back is a bunch of transport. Or is the engine back there? I might be wrong. The engine might be that little block there instead. Oh, so we got some medical. Op4 is now fighting a superior Bluefor force. Got people like Lolo pulling their AT out. RPG shot comes out, gets a hit. Disables the gun. Engine's in the back seats in the middle, got it. Second RPG shot comes in. Engine is still active. But gun is disabled. That BTR no longer able to support for a little bit till they get repairs. You've got Nemesis now trying to push up. His AT, it's not a tube, it's the 60mm mortar, but he's about to get flanked. If Wonder looks left, he might not. Next, Nemesis might get the kill here, but there's 2 other Bluefor members with this guy. 2 AT guys and machine gunner. That's a stolen RPG-7, mind you. So, 2 Op4 trying to maneuver south. To be honest, PvP, especially for Arma 3, is always about who's able to outflank the other. Wow, and that I think was Zixme going down. He got some great hits on Nemesis, but it wasn't enough. Grenade comes out, that's gonna get him. Nope, Nemesis might pull away in time. And he has a beautiful trade with Masano. Looks like Wonder pushed up to here and got knocked out. And Malin also died in that run, so now we got 4 Bluefor to 3 Op4. Op4 have a few guys coming around on this side. Twig King gets dropped off as this truck is now pushing around. They've got 4 people in there. Op4 staying on the flank. RPG hits the truck. Now you got some Bluefor trying to dismount. They're immediately getting picked off, though. Smoke's going out. But we have knockouts as they try to get out of this open field. Twig King, though, is going to be pushing the flank to try to relieve his men. Gets the knockout on one of them. That's that flank push taken out. Is this 80 Alpha effective again? That gun might still be down. But we do have an RPG gunner, Orn, here. Looks like he's going to be working on himself. Does he hear the engine of the 80 Alpha? I think he did. He just panicked. Nope, now he sees it. Pull out the, yep. 80 Alpha's booking it around. That's going to be a tough shot to make. He gets it. Knocks the engine right out. Could potentially have that thing cook off. That's gone from a 30 to 60 second repair to a few minutes worth of repair there. They're just riding the engine down. Twig staying on the flank. Op4 down to 3. This might be a perfect game for Bluefor at this rate. You have some 3-man for Op4 here, 2 back there, and then 2 on the vehicle. Does it fully cook off? It does not. We do have smoke coming out of it, though, so there is still a risk. Looks like they're popping smoke grenades. That might have been an accidental frag, but they are going to try to field repair it. Meanwhile, you do have Seasmo coming around on the side. Twig King getting into a fight with BJ here. Looks like Twig got a few hits there. He is still trying to line up the shot. Can't seem to land a hit on BJ, though, who goes behind a few different bushes here, making it really hard to see where exactly he is. Do have some grenades being thrown, but a little far on that. What am I saying? That grenade was short, but... do have some shots coming in on BJ from the other side, and he gets taken out by Delta 1. That 80 Alpha gets found by the Rosmech and starts getting annihilated. That is making the engineers fold off of it. They might try to push around and get to Sector 1 instead. We see that Sector 1 has been fully abandoned. PI was, he left that sector, is now coming back in. That could allow for some Op4 to sneak in and still score that, but we do have some mines in this zone. Like a Claymore right here, so even if Op4 comes in, they could still get taken out. Meanwhile, Op4, that 3-man team, 2 are trying to push back in. They're running into another Bluefor group. They've been reinforced even more. They were only down to like 3 or 4. Now they're up to 6 to 7. One Op4 member gets taken out. MLG and Jek are the only 2 still up here. Pretty tough round so far for Op4. And it just goes to show, whoever has the maneuvering advantage usually wins these things. Op4 had the perfect opportunity to pick up Sector 2 while they kept Bluefor on their toes and separated, but because of Catz's inability to move his main forces in with him, it all fell apart. Samuel trying to pull Kajonovic into cover to potentially work on him. We do have a medic on standby. Twig pulled back, got more forces to come down. Korvac still unconscious right there. BJ was taken out. Op4 down to 4 down. Or 4 up and 2 down at the moment. I honestly don't think that Op4 is going to win the round. They could still score some points with Sector 1, but that's going to be it. Op4's gunner here just ran out of ammo, and that machine gunner is just unloading on him. That took Ivnomain way too long to get the kill there, but he just kept the trigger down. Double tap shots coming in by Lolo. Now we just have Jack with the marksman rifle. Curious, who did he just take out? I think he just put some shots actually on Lolo, who was coming in, but some smokes have gone out. Rosmach being ordered potentially north now to cover the gap because Sector 1's open. Jack, last man standing here. He's going to run back to the Overwatch position. Ay, ay, ay. Bluefor looks like they've loaded Kajonovic into the vehicle here. That's smart. Load him in the Vic and then pull him back to a medic, like Jasper. Got some autocannon shots coming out. Oh, because they're in the 80 Alpha now, and they're just firing on the rear line here. Maybe because they see some Op4 bodies. Just got to be careful not to get friendly fired or do any friendly firing. Wonder, guns up, looking in that direction. Jack trying to bait people to come and follow him. Now utilizing this open area. I'm going to be honest, though, in a fight with ACOGs, I would argue the marksman is probably the least effective guy on the field because he only has a 10-round weapon compared to everyone else that's got a 30-round weapon with a scope that can accomplish the same thing. And in the game of body armor, calibers don't really mean much, but yep, we've got Op4 now rushing up to try to get Sector 1 here. So I think Twig is telling Jasper to come into the vehicle so they can medic up Kajonovich. They're pulling his body out. Autocannon vehicle is now in the middle, as now Bluefor's pulling all of their forces out. So we could see Op4 technically get Sector 1 and then maneuver around and still hit the terminal site as well. They've got 23 minutes. It could still be done. We have multiple Hunt IRs up in the air. Now it's just going to be a guerrilla fight. Can Bluefor see other Bluefor on the map and Op4 see other Op4? That's a great question. Some communities allow for that. I don't know what HK's policy is. I think it's, last season it was squad leaders can see other squad leaders. So I think Op4 wouldn't be able to see anyone. I think the Rosmec just engaged the marksman over here. Yeah, made him pull to cover. I think it had an angle on him as he tried to pull away, but yeah, I don't think any Op4 are squad leaders here, so I don't think any Op4 could see any Op4 on the map at the moment. Yeah, the shots are well over range, but they definitely are trying to hit the marksman. You're so used to watching on YouTube and try to skip ahead. That's fair. Oh, man, I've done that to my buddy Dante's stream a few times. There could still be some luck here where Op4 come in, try to go up here, and the charge gets him. I was hoping for something bigger to be here, because that could potentially take Lolo out. But if you wanted to cover this entire sector, you would need something right here, in that corner, and then on this tower. And even then, you would need something there. So that would be like 2 explosive specialists worth of boom boom. Oh, but we have an entire vehicle now coming up to potentially go and hold Sector 1. I think they're doing that because they know that they had contact with that BTR and they haven't gone for Sector 2, so they could potentially go for Sector 1. That's either Twig King being super smart or Oddball ordering them to go back. I think they watched that Op4 guy get up there. He takes his GL out, immediately gets a kill. Can you imagine if he aimed a little further back and got the massive group right there instead? There's that charge going off. It's ineffective. Another explosive goes out. Sector being taken. More charges going off. And there's the satchel going out to take the tower out. So they had one further up in here to detonate, and they were just going through the explosives. Oh, that's funny. So there's the sector not being taken anymore. I think it's GG at this point. I don't really see any point in letting this continue, because it's going to be 1 versus everything up here. The autocannon Vic's coming around, and then Jack has already pulled back so much. I'm pretty sure this is a GG. Bluefor with a perfect score. If I have a mod in chat that wants to pay it out to Bluefor, feel free, but pretty sure this is it. I don't see Ash getting all the kills here. He has nothing to do with the Rosmec, and then Jack has a marksman rifle. He's unlikely to win a fight head-on. And that's only in a 1v1 situation, which is his only option. Oh, man. How's everyone's Tuesday? Because I guess we're going to be here for a hot second until the admins decide to call it proper. No, dude, I don't think we need any inner Audrey Hotto channelings here. Because, yeah, no, this team is probably going to be ordered now to go up to Terminal 3 and hold that. And then we've got 3 even groups of players to hold all the sectors, and that's going to be it. Maybe they're waiting to see what Ash does if he pushes in, but Jack, I mean, he's just pulled back from the forest. I don't think there's a call here. that involves keeping everyone on this round, it's pretty obvious that Op4 doesn't really have a play here anymore. And then Ash just announced his presence with a gunshot on accident. Does he even have a scope on the weapon? Nah. Nah, fam. Yeah, that gunshot was the freaking kiss of death for him right there. He's immediately taking fire. This is done. Bluefor's even sending people out to go deal with him at this point. Jack now going over the open field to get to the objective. Either both of them just got a push to say, hey, you need to advance. But again, immediately taking fire in the open field because, yeah, that's an open field, dude. Sending the welcome committee. And Ash, again, he's just going to now try to completely flank around. As Bluefor are bombarding the area. But yeah, a machine gun with no scope and a marksman rifle with a scope versus a bunch of assault rifles with machine guns with scopes. And an autocannon vehicle. Jack gonna doing, is that medical or is that a morphine stick? That's a morphine stick. Yep, it's too quick. We hear a burst of fire on this side. Guess that's the Rosmac just firing. Oh, did I? I'm sorry to hear, Obsidian. Now they're doing RPGs onto the building. They're firing the AA also. Jesus. Yeah. All right, look at this. Callie with a kill. Pitbull on an ACR versus an SVD gunner with a 260 scope. I'm gonna laugh if the grenade gets Callie. Wounds him a bit, but he gets the knockout on Jack. Ash still running around. Wakes up, gets knocked out by another gunner. That was the Nom mission. Yeah, I crashed out from that, and then I wasn't able to get back in because that mod set takes so long to load. So I called it after the second try. Jack's will to go on, though. God damn, it's because he took that morphine, and that headshot back of the head takes him out. All right, let's wrap the game up, ladies and gentlemen. Where is he? Can Ash channel his inner Adriano and potentially win the match for Op4? Survey says... I take no pride in doing that to people, okay? But at this point, we need to wrap the damn game up, alright? This went on for, I want to say, another 10 minutes than it should have. It was over 15 minutes ago. Still hasn't wrapped up, but that is a perfect score to Bluefor, which means Catz needs to hold every objective in order to tie out this week. But we don't have to worry about that in terms of our bets. But look at that. Demovar with 5 kills, Rigel and Lolotine with 3. All of those people in Bluefor. Ooh, that was pretty brutal. What do I have planned for the 4th? I'm going to be spending time... Oddball 10, Catz 0. Good God. I'm going to be spending time with Bloodwing's family, and we're going to go out and see some... illegal fireworks. It's going to be great. Though if the local government launches them, are they still illegal? Who knows? Regardless, let's go ahead and get that paid out and get the next payment ready to go here. But that was a pretty clear win for Oddball. Again, I think Op4, if they were able to coordinate the infantry pushing in properly, they would have at least gotten Sector 2. They could have also completely denied the use of that Rosmic vehicle if they coordinated having a BTR-80 Alpha come up and mag dump it with its AP rounds. If they aimed for the turret first and disabled it and then just focused on the rest of the vehicle, it would have been a guarantee kill. But yeah, those mortars just both times they were used, they weren't clocked in properly, and it really cost them. Description. Fill this out, please. Lovely. Just get military flares. Yeah, right? Those are some great fireworks if you want to illuminate. Righto, Peyton. Hope you enjoy your family time. Oh. Alright. Is it to be saying 19th best squad? They did do pretty well on Bluefor there, so we'll see what they can do on the attacking side, but I'm gonna be honest, like, normally there's a reason when a side really underperforms like that, but that one really just felt like Catz did not have proper coordination of his elements. And he tried to push up to show, because he's a Scandi Recon member, so they're normally very, very aggressive. He tried to give that same level of aggression on the commanding side, and it just, people wouldn't commit with him. But it goes to show, if you are lax moving into an AO and you give your opponent enough time to properly regroup and set up a defensive line, you're screwed. You are absolutely screwed. So the only way Catz can tie out this week if he gets a perfect score, but I mean, having 2 L's on week 2, that's not a good sign for him this season. Regardless, now that you've seen Bluefor win a side on that high of a ratio, again, whoever has 2 out of the 3 objectives by the end of the game because of how the points are tallied would win the round, but I think if we see Op4 do a proper coordinated attack, or we have Op4 send in a bunch of forces and then, you know, on one side and then maybe 2, 3, or 4-man teams on another side and then push in and attack areas simultaneously, you could still win it out with a massive bluff play, but it's such a weird call. But that would be the type of call to win against something like that, or at least get a guaranteed win. It doesn't also help that Op4 lost a full squad of 6. Because they decided to go through open areas in the beginning. But then again, that's where they maneuvered in the first place, so it was just a really weird choice. But yes, Bluefor is Poland, Op4 is Belarus. Stream is not ending, we still have a second round. Which, speaking of, here. I meant to do this last week and I forgot, but we need to, oh gosh, it's also July, I need to give a total to LaFlash. But LaFlash is the guy that runs the Milsim Units website. He's the one that has me do this ad, but he's also the guy that is hosting officially the 24-hour op that we're going to be seeing this weekend. So give me 1 second. We have to do this one thing. I'll be back in 31 seconds. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button on the main browser, and it'll take you to a page where you can see various different Arma unit listings. Each listing has a nice picture representing the unit, a brief synopsis, and the information you need to join the unit. Unit leaders can also sign up on the website for free by simply joining the website's Discord. Alright. But yeah, that reminds me, I do have to get things sorted. Alright. Today I've just been editing videos, and admittedly I went out and had lunch with my mother, so it's been a, a slow day, but, you know. Going forward with everything. Yeah, so up to about 72. HK rounds can run a bit slow. Well, Twig, it was the right call to make in your shoes. Twig is the cardboard, by the way, but alright. I assume we'll be getting started with this next round momentarily, because after this finishes, I gotta run up, make dinner, and then I'll be coming back on and probably working on more editing. Yeah, it was only a few trickling in, but you always gotta play sector security, because if you don't, then the surviving chuckleheads are gonna be able to get over there and take what they can. Oh, that's rich. All right, 1 second. All right, let me switch the names. So I just got a message because for the 14th there was one of the op slots. One of the communities I'm currently in, the latest one, is a Halo flying unit. And they were going to go to a charity event, so they had us all sign up for the charity event. I put a video on it about it yesterday on the VODS channel for me signing up, and I just got a message saying that they can't get me in because it filled up. So I'm going to go shoot this over to the people in the 777th because they have attendance. Just to say, hey, this is what they're telling me, so this is why I'm not going to be there. And then they're also kind of strict on their LOAs, so I'm actually going to ask, does this mean I have to follow an LOA because they can't put me in the unit? They got mad at me in that unit, though, because I kept changing my name, because they also have a naming policy. So they're like, okay, just put CDT for Cadet Liru, and then that's it. So I would write CDT Liru, that's it, and that would be my username for playing the round. Yeah, they didn't really like that. They finally just sat me down and told me, change the name or you're getting kicked out. I'm like, okay. But I got away with it for like 3 weeks. Still gonna land on the unit leader one day. It's a pancake, but oh well. I honestly thought that video was a complete joke. I mean, there was intention for me to go in and do stuff in the op, but yeah, if they're filled, they're filled. Which unit's the 777th? That's the Halo op tray unit that I fly around in a Hornet in and chill with Haze, Nightmare, and Vix. They're a Halo sim unit. But they're also a PM, so I don't know. It's weird saying it out loud, but it's a cool concept. But I fly in there, so I don't do any of the fancy things. But yeah, out of the 3 ops I've played in there, that latest one was definitely the most iffy, but it's fine. I'm not there to play, I'm there to socialize and dick around with a Hornet and try to land it on Pelicans and end up killing everybody. And then somehow surviving, bailing out, and fighting a dude holding a machine gun. Not just any machine gun, the heavy 12.7 3-barrel rotary gun. Meanwhile, here I am with a 12.7 pistol, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna end well, Chief. And then I kill him, take the machine gun, and they're like, you can't keep it. I'm like, why, though? I won it fair and square. But yeah, oh well. It's okay. I don't think we can stream Halo Cold War Assault anyway. That's a sarcastic joke. Or maybe it was because I announced today that we're going to do another Black Templar versus Furries operation because it was a furry charity. I don't know. Either way, I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm going to be honest, though, I've never really had any good luck running Arma 3 charity events. So at the same time, I'm not Actually, no, I'm completely apathetic that I'm not going. I just need to make sure I tie everything away with the unit that I was going to go in as a part of because of the whole LOA BS. But, God, the 2 times ago, that turned into a whole drama thing because they didn't like me, and they only wanted me there for my platform. Last time I did charity was under my own banner, but that resulted in a certain other YouTuber starting a DDoS campaign against me. And now this time it's like, hey, buddy, we're full. I'm like, all right, cool. That's why for charity now I'm doing it through a non-Arma outlet. I'm doing it through Always Give Back now, which I think if you scroll down you can see a banner for it. But every month, Peeps on Kick builds a PC for a veteran, and the people that decide who gets the PC is a council of veterans that he's created. And they got their 501c last month. And they're going full steam ahead with that. So, Spooky Vlad, who I met in Sog Prairie Fire, brought me in on that. And I'm actually going to see him this Friday. Because it turns out he lives only like 25-30 minutes from me in Northern Virginia. So we're going to chill together and at a town festival. And I'm bringing Bloodwing there as well because she loves those. But that's all good, man. It's interesting how my circle's grown for stuff like that. And that's also led to helping work on Exfil right now, which is another game which is going to end up turning into a mini Arma that's more arena shooter focused, but the end goal of that game is to have AI, have a mission editor, and all this other fun stuff, but that's all years away. But, I mean, so is Reforger and so is Arma 4, so we have time. Because in the meantime, we're just going to be working on letting y'all choose the content, pay for the content, and organize the release schedule of the content, so... and all I gotta do is just keep editing. Which is the one thing I dislike, but it's fine. It's for you guys. That would have been really funny if I was just stuck here and because I didn't hit the continue button. Not gonna lie, I would have just hit that and go, oh, cool. I could have done that at any time. I am so sorry, chat. Excuse me. Don't you hate it when you get sick, and then even weeks after you get were sick, excuse me, you still have that annoying-ass cough? Oh, it was really bad a few days ago, but I think it's finally getting out of my system. Probably give it another week. Yeah. I mean, thankfully we have the DayZ editor, but he's getting me videos. Take a guess. I'll give you a hint. He is at least X months behind in terms of the videos I've given him. The latest videos he has given me are, let's see, it's, what, July, so that's the 7th month of this month. Anyone want to take a guess how many months behind he is? And how many videos I have given him? I don't know the video amount. Shark's saying at least 8 months. That would put him in December. Anyone else have a guess? Because I'm going to be honest, some of the stuff I edit, I mean, it's from like years ago that I still release. And then I don't publish any VODs tied to it because I'm like, I don't even remember what VODs they're tied to. But his latest batch of videos cleared out September, which was 10 months ago. And he's finally getting through stuff from October. We did a Halloween event last year for DayZ, and I think that was the latest thing he gave me. But that was, you know, August and September. That's when we started the whole DayZ soundbite stuff. And then we started moving on to using a plugin to spawn stuff. And then we abandoned that because of potential EULA concerns. And then just had it be done with admins. And then ever since, we've been having a DayZ day every Friday. So he's... God, if we were to say every Friday was at least one video, and then maybe every month we had 2 additional videos, so that's, what, 6 videos a month? And he just got done with October. That would be November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. And we just started July, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8. What's 8 times 6? That's 48 videos. And some of the videos he can make like 2... I think he took 1 and he made like 4 edited videos out from that. So... that is potentially like 100 to 200 edited videos worth of content that he has to make, and I've already paid him for. Crazy. His username is I'm crazy, and yeah, he's going to be crazy after that one. Good God. Is there anything you're gonna miss late September of this this coming September? No. The only thing I know of is I'm taking the first week of September off to go on a vacation because I desperately need one. But beyond that, I don't have content or ideas booked. The only other thing I would say is, I mean, we just figured out what we're doing for July, and I'm going to get that all scheduled, but, I mean, the only way I could tell you what we're going to be doing specifically in September is, I would say, by late August when we put the polls up to decide what we're going to do for that month. So, suffice to say, I wouldn't be able to tell you right now. But anyway, let's get over the mission details here. So again, same tasks, going to be defending 2 sectors and a terminal. The sector up here is worth 4 points. The sector down here is worth 3 points. The terminal is worth 3 points. That is for 10 points total in the round. Otherwise, we're going to go with the unit roster here first. So Catz going to be commanding Bluefor, Lola, Korvac, Seismo, and BJ on Alpha 1. Alpha 2 has Gerald, Dufois, Tricep, and Settler. Bravo has Jerma and Wojek. Charlie 1 has Wiki Quartz, Rambo Bambo, Rocky 19, Grisogovsky, and Maxic. Charlie 2 has Drago Vexen, Tomez, and Catboy. Delta 1 has Giovanni and Monkey. Delta 2 has Utapu, MLG, Charles, and Jado. Echo 1 has Rizbo and Jack. Echo 2 has Nemesis, Iander, Cullis, and Nick. Foxtrot 1 has Malin, and Golf 1 has Eric, Tackleberry, Banks, and Ash. Looks like Bluefor is going to go for the mobilized vehicle option with the drone UAZ, which the terminals are in that box, a 50 cal Humvee, and 2 BRDMs. Also, they get this sit-down AA gun for free, but looking over at the roster of their side, loadouts are going to be Polish with ACRs. They also have a choice of ACOG scopes for them. They also have SVDs, their own RPJs, and the UZK, whatever, the Polish version of the PKP, but it's chambered in 7.62x51. So that's the sit-down SAM turret, and then they also have 3 transport trucks that are named Star 1466s. Otherwise, any other details to note? If we look at the briefing tab, if I can get selected, 1,500 meters of render distance, fortify points are at 175 for the defenders. It is a 55-minute round, and the fortify color for any fortifications made is green. Otherwise, looking at Op 4, Oddball won the previous round in a landslide 10-0 victory, but otherwise they're going to be choosing the BTR-80 Alphas as well. I agree. The fact that Bluefor has a dedicated manpad turret kind of nullifies the use of any close air support. Unless Op 4 get lucky and find it and take it out early, there's not really a point in having that air support there. But otherwise, Op 4's forces Oddball leading Snodgepair, Crazy, and Pierce under Alpha 1. Alpha 2 has Nolik and Henry. Boyer 1 has Bursty and Pupper. There's no Boyer 2. Chekhov 1 has Wonder and Reeve. Dima 1 has Samuel, Orn, Kajonovich, and Combs. Alina 2 has Twig King, Jasper, Pi, and Roderick. Fendon 1 has Pogo _ Dennis, Dapso, and Callie. Fendon 2 has Davidson, Killer J, and Whiteside. And the Golf 1 has merged everyone together. It's NASA, Ibnomain, Masano, Lolo, Rigel, Nemvar, and Tixme. This was the team that pretty much wiped everyone. It's the 19th in terms of community. That's just their name, but they did really well in the last round for Bluefor, so let's see what they can do for Op 4. Otherwise, Hotel 1 has Nazi, T, and Fonz. Otherwise, they are Belarusian forces here with AK-12s, PKPs, SVDs, RPG-7s, and a Maz. Otherwise, they have 5 Kamaz transport trucks, 2 Gazes, and again, they're going with those 2 BTR-80 Alphas. Op 4, there's a lot of danger zones for them. There's a lot of open areas that they're on the southern side. I would say the safest way for Op 4 to get in the zone is to come up to Zelen here, go through the forested area, assault Sector 1, and then from there they can go north, branch into the forested area over here on Sector 3. Again, you just need 2 of the zones to win, or 2 of the objectives, whatever you want to call it, so I would go for those 2 because they've got the forested areas to actually advance on, and then some open ground to provide cover with from those BTR-80 Alphas. I'd say Sector 2 is a bit of a kill zone because it has these massive open fields around it that Bluefor can easily lock down. Nonetheless, we'll have to see what both sides decide to do for this scenario. Round will open up in 6 minutes. Otherwise, in terms of projects, again, the 24-hour Arma 3 operation will start this Saturday at 1 p.m. and end Sunday at 1 p.m. And then I'm crazy because I'm going to be doing some additional stuff. Oh, that reminds me. I need to message my DM because the 506 switched the schedule a bit. And I need to get that coordinated. Whoops. All right, there's a few things I got to do, and then I got to make dinner today, just in terms of scheduling and whatnot. I'm definitely going to need to take a nap after that 24-hour operation. I've been really thinking I want to do it in an entire VOD, but I remember trying to upload a 6-hour. There's been a few times. Okay, so it's a 60-minute round. I thought it was going to be a 55, but safe zones have been dropped. We're going to start seeing Oddball advance over. But I remember YouTube having a massive hissy fit on the 2 times I've uploaded 6-hour VODs to YouTube. The upload time is fine, even though my upload time, for whatever reason, has gradually decreased on YouTube, but it's back to being all right now. It's not as good as it used to be, but at the same time, not as bad. And I've always had a gigabyte in terms of, you know, internet, but I digress. It's the quote-unquote processing time of the video. For whatever reason, I recall the 6-hour video taking like half a day to process to HD because YouTube's compression system sucks. And I have looked up and seen that, you know, like video game footage and whatnot, if you go more than a few hours, YouTube's system just hates that for some weird reason. So in order to fight that, I might just record the 8 3-hour mission files separately and then just upload that over the course of the week. And I think that'll also work out quite well because I am going on a few mini vacations between now and September when I do officially take a week off. There's going to be a few of those. And the VODS channel, if you've noticed, has had a few days where I only upload a single video because I'm not producing a lot right now because I'm just kind of doubling down on editing and a bunch of internal projects. So I might, instead of doing a full 24-hour upload, just do 8 3-hour ones for that 24-hour op, to just divide it amongst the mission files. And then just, you know, get two videos out a day, but there'll be, you know, other stuff done on, you know, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and whatnot. So we'll just, it'll create a nice little front log, but I'm sure we'll catch up with that unless I decide to, like, double down and stream some more video, or not video, mission editing and whatnot, but there's plenty to do. But I also know this month is going to be crazy because there's also going to be the 24-hour DayZ stream. That'll be done later in the month, probably towards the end of it. And then I have a lot of mission files to run. Between op polls and some stuff, 1 or 2 missions I didn't get to run in the previous month, and a few other things. But look at this. So Zixme's been knocked out. I know what his problem is. He somehow fused with the, he's been bifurcated. And no one's noticed. No one has noticed Zixme getting knocked out. That's, huh. You know, you probably don't want to leave one of your best players unconscious in the vehicle. I find it hilarious that no one has noticed. And these guys had 2 medics, so they could have brought him back if anyone bothered to pay attention to this chucklehead being unconscious. It's like the Falcon treatment. But yeah, in terms of the videos, we'll get there when we get there. But my point is there's going to be a lot this month. But I also know there's going to be a few days off this month because Bloodway and I were going to do a little mini vacation and get out of here for a long weekend. So we'll go from there. But I'm wondering if anyone's going to turn around and notice that Zixme's uncon in the Vic. And I'm pretty sure it's because the gas hit the vehicle, and for whatever reason, Zixme got knocked out from that. I also noticed he really is pinned by that. Holy crap, because he's... Unless he can unconsciously hold himself up with 1 boot. Oh, there he is. No, he's still on. Okay, no, now he's not. The symbol went away. Ain't that something? It just means he can run up. A medic can give him some blood if he lost too much, and... Interesting. Well, you can see that Bluefor is definitely capitalizing on the safe way to come in here. We do have some open areas on Overwatch. The infantry can shift left and then utilize this forested area to either cut into the sector or over to the terminal site. And then you've got big chunks of infantry coming in from over here. So you got Rizbo on the AA Vic back there. And I'm assuming Catz has the drone. Yes, they do, because the drone is running in front of Op4 right here. Lost its back right wheel. I don't think they're allowed to run things over with the vehicles, but it would be funny if he could just ram that vehicle into the 80 Alpha. Do it. Take him out. Hit him. Done. Done. Coward. Anyway, we see some long-range fire going in. Looks like a Moz round from Op4 came in and struck this position. Another Moz round coming in gets a knockout. And it looks like Giovanni's accidentally put his backpack on his chest, so he is stuck in a walk animation. Bluefor have a marksman here. He's been unable to take anything out. Maxek probably going to wake back up. He's got an SVD. And then we have a long-range machine gunner. But yeah, Giovanni doesn't realize he's put his backpack on his chest. I think his gun is too low and he's clipping it on the trench texture. Because that's where I thought I saw that little smoke pick up there. Now you see some autocannon fire coming in. Giovanni looks like he fixed his mistake. Now he's trying to run away. But Bluefor, I'm curious to see if they're going to redeploy their forces here to hold Sector 1, or if Op4 is going to be more coordinated in the assault this time around. I think the important thing for Op4, though, is to also make sure they don't lose a squad in an open field early on. Shots going overhead. However, this won't mean anything if they can't transition forces to get in the tree line to take the zone. Meanwhile, we have an 80 Alpha, not an 80 Alpha, a BRDM. It is heavily overranged, though. I think they're trying to fire the rounds on this 80 Alpha here. And the 80 Alpha is very fixated on the Bluefor elements right here. BRDM still heavily overranged. And it looks like that drone was finally found and taken out by Hotel 1. So that nullifies Bluefor reconnaissance, but at the same time, I think Bluefor already figured out that Op4's main force was coming from this direction. AD Alpha now spotting the BRDM and putting some AP shots on it. BRDM gets down into the low ground here, utilizing Defilade to get away. I'm not seeing any damage on it. I'm not seeing any bodies on it. We still have this one Bluefor team down right over here, but they're picking up their wounded and they're trying to get away. Giovanni pushing up with his machine gun alone. I mean, a lone machine gunner can do quite a bit of damage, but with the body armor I've seen both sides running, I'm not sure he'll be super effective with it, but hey, he can always try. It's a Polish BRDM whale, that's why it's cursed. Also, how you doing, buddy? Alright, so now we got Op4 crossing into where we have 4 Bluefor here. We did just see one of those symbols flash. I didn't hear a gunshot, though. Just a matter of can Op4 spot left and call contact. They're now pushing up, so maybe they did, but Bluefor immediately folding from this area. There's the contact call. Shots going out. None land on Thomas, though, but that's going to alert Bluefor and potentially slow them down, which allows Op4 a chance to potentially sit down and catch up. Oh, Drago taking a knockout shot there. He had a GL. That would have been a bit smarter to open up with because it has a much bigger killing potential there, but he gets taken out, and those 3 are just going to stay pinned. Oh, God. 3CB error there. These 3 Op4 are potentially going to come around and flank that group. They're going to stay pinned. That could be an early Op4 victory. We do see some infantry have been transferred all the way down on the southern side, so I think we're going to see a bit of a concave attack on Sector 1 here. Were you shooting? Because that was suppressed. GL goes out. Hard to tell where it landed because of that smoke grenade, though, but we need to see these Bluefor members pull back. I think Maxic got brought in. Oh, that's why. So Vexen gets knocked out. But they're just GLing the smoke, which is a smart call. But you can see Bluefor slowly transferring everything over. Another BRDM coming around on the northern side, probably to try to flank around. But Bluefor starting to form a defensive line here. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, because he's not emptying everything out yet, which shows me he's not confident in where Op4 is completely. So I don't think he realizes Op4's entire strategy is probably going to go on to Sector 1 first. But last round started like this. So we could eventually see Bluefor trickle in more forces if Op4 doesn't push in accordingly, but again, Oddball seems to be able to coordinate his side a lot better than Catz can. And with Op4 now on the attacking side, we could very well see a more effective push. But at the same time, we still have guys on Overwatch back here. We've got smaller teams pushing in. Bluefor are going to have the number advantage on this 4-man team going in, so we could still see it turn around and Oddball lose out and Catz get a perfect score. Again, it's all about who can catch who maneuvering and just defeat in detail first. But if Op4 reforms and pushes the objective, that's all they're going to need. We see a vehicle pushing in. This is a Gaz. That is the entirety of Golf 1 going on the offensive here. Only a few of them are remaining back on Overwatch, so that's going to reinforce the 4 pushing in. And it looks like Bluefor are going into the sector itself, so that's going to cut them off from any other QRF that might push in as well. And then you got the 2 pulling around over here. Then we have a random... What? I don't know. That one, I'm just gonna chalk that one up to Arma. BRDM that pushed on the northern side now engaging the 2 surviving Bluefor elements that went through a little bit of an open area. They got Op4 right next to him, though. 8 to Maz firing in again. This poor Catboy's gonna run right into Op4. And he gets gunned down. What a shame. You got GLs firing into the zone here. Looks like the wounded Maxic was dropped in the middle. I don't see a medic working on him. Catz now in the middle here as well. He's trying to push around. Op4 having their southern team, though. We're going to start seeing that concave I was talking about. Bluefor need to send everything over at this point. We have a squad. 4 people in Alpha coming all the way on this wide flank. I'm not sure that's going to be enough to do anything. That other Bluefor guy gets knocked out and killed. Op4 are Belarus, Bluefor are Polish. So I guess Op4 is technically Belarusian. But Op4 AK-12 based, Bluefor ACR based. We have AT fired. That BRDM is down by the assaulting Op4 element back here. So we see that Pi got the kill. He's got that vehicle kill marked. And Op4 are advancing on him. Excuse me. Saw a gunshot enter right there. Unsure if that was Overwatch accidentally read on reading there or Bluefor holding. Sounded distant, though. So we got Catz now maneuvering around. He's trying to pull back to his BRDM, but it was taken out. Honestly, this Bluefor element's going to get defeated on detail. There's only 3 of them remaining. And Bluefor are just in really small groups. I think Op4 is going to win this one completely. Bluefor is just going to be defeated in detail. Op4 is going to stay really concise here. Can they get these remaining objectives all in 45 minutes, 15 minutes per? Absolutely. We might even see a force split on the remaining sector in the other position there, but Bluefor way too spread out, and you just have Op4 now approaching the area. You got some great overwatch coming in from the BTR, firing its autocannon inside, because that's an 80 Alpha. I don't see any bodies in here, but that's definitely suppressing this area. Smoke grenade goes off to cover it. We see some Polish bodies on the ground. And we see that machine gunner is trying to fire at Op4 moving around, but I guess the next question is going to be, is it only going to be these two Op4 pushing in, or are there going to be additional forces that come in as well? Because we might see a bit of an Overwatch fallacy there as well. Pi, I think, got knocked out. He wakes back up. He is up a kill, too. And now you got Catz trying to run away. He takes shots in the back, though. I think that was Rodrig firing at him. Now you got more Op4 running in. Grenades being thrown into the area here. More AP autocannon fire coming in. But, I mean, he doesn't really have room to get out, so Rambo's going to be stuck up there. He's just dodging AP rounds, because one of those, they're penning, because you can see them hitting in the back there. He just has to not get hit, because if he gets hit once, he's probably going to die. Let's see if Nolik notices the open door. That's frag bait. Frag it. Don't go in front of a machine gun, you chucklehead. Throw a frag grenade. Or shut the door and lock it. He's trying to fire through the pen, but 762 isn't going to pen. Frag it, please. He's literally getting knockouts on your guys. This is why frag grenades were invented. This is something else. Yeah. Yeah. He pulls out, immediately gets gunned down. He's got a marksman rifle. He tries to shut the door, manages to slip inside. Now you got smoke grenades getting thrown in instead. If you don't have frags, then you just radio to someone that does have frags. This man runs into the frag grenade on accident. He gets blown away. Oh, for the love of God. Op4 took way too many casualties taking that. That's 2 bodies right there, 2 over there, 1 wounded right there. There was only, what, 3 dudes in here? So some pretty nasty attrition. You got Bluefor sending some counterattacks. Truck full of guys. This is Golf 1. Sending a full team over to fight 3 guys on Terminal 3. A few Bluefor trickling in. Maybe they spotted that vehicle coming in, but that... Op4 is at least going to get points on the board. They're going to take Sector 1, probably going to take Terminal 3, so I think this is going to be an Op4 victory. Might not be a perfect score, because Bluefor sending in some really nice counterattacks that could feed on attrition, but... very silly calls here. GL comes in, knocks out Jack. Jack was on 3 kills. Good on him, but... Who was that machine gunner? Was that Rizbo? Yeah, Rizbo on 2 because of the 2 chuckleheads that decided to fight a machine gunner head on. That was definitely something. But Bluefor, again, trying to counterattack, but a lot of Op4 have now bypassed. They're on 2 edges of the concave attack, and the rest are just trickling in. And we actually don't have anyone officially in the sector to start taking it yet. So the smoke grenade, they still think that this is an enemy position. You see that this bunker's changed textures. But Op4's too scared to actually push in. And that's giving Bluefor some time to push in to counterattack here. That shooting has forced Op4 into the sector, and now they're officially taking it. So this is a 3-man push against 3 defenders, so that's going to trade out evenly. Bluefor could send a few more in as well. But whoever wins this fight is going to probably determine the rest of the game. Bluefor could knock out enough Op4 so that the remaining garrisons can hold off whatever comes at them. But if Bluefor utterly lose this fight, then it's going to be over. Once again, we have a chucklehead going into the open mal, and you know better. He gets crippled. And they're trying to pick him off from afar as he's crawling. Because, again, the grass doesn't render past 50 meters. Meanwhile, Nick trying to fire some GLs into the compound to try to route the Op4 forces in here. 45 seconds remaining on that timer for the sector. But I think officially in 40 seconds, Oddball will have won the week because he at least has points on the board. That's going to mean that for the week, it's going to be 13. Oh, this position's worth 4 points. 14-6. But he still hasn't won the second round yet. He still needs to get the point majority there. But you see that everything's pulling off on Overwatch here. Bluefor sending more forces to try to encircle the Overwatch as it's moving. And now Op4 are going to have to hold these positions, but we need to see some additional forces transition to attack here. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of long-range fighting here. Smoke grenades thrown and some long-range shots going on this position. But you can see they've pretty well fortified it. They've left an entryway in the back, though, and left a small entryway right there. Op4 intermingling with Bluefor on the outer edges of the sector here. And they can't find each other, but there we go. Sector 1 officially taken by Op4. If Op4 get one other position, they will win this round. Bluefor trying to stay alive for it, but in terms of the command week, Oddball has beat out Catz this week. I think Malin was able to get back into cover. He's taking fire, though. Looks like Bluefor are finding Op4's positions here and getting taken out. I think I just watched Nemesis get gunned down. Just look at all the bodies here, though, man. AT firing in. That was an AG round, but that was enough to knock out that 80 Alpha. It was trying to push in to provide cover for the hilltop, not realizing that Bluefor had already enveloped these previous positions. We see another Bluefor knockout here. That was Iander with the AT. Who got that knockout? Then we have the other 80 Alpha pushing around. I wonder where it's going to go. Might stick to the open ground instead. Meanwhile, we got some grenades being thrown by Settler. Did the smart thing of opening up with a grenade, but he is unable to get away in time and gets knocked out himself. We see some other grenade throws. Op4 doesn't realize where they're officially being engaged from. And we hear that machine gunner. He's turned around. I think Iander woke back up, and he is also double tapped as he is knocked out again. Depso doing a quick reload. Cali, meanwhile, turns out he gets another kill, and that front little group of Bluefor are taken out. Bluefor very separated right now. We got one knockout up here as these three are trying to push to Terminal 3. We have Ash in the back line over here trying to come in. Settlers shifted over to this position and got taken out. 38 minutes remaining. We have a knockout on Op4 now. It's staying even. That was also Op4's medic. He was also the Moz gunner. Huh. We could see this 80 Alpha try to transition and assist on that sector, but that would put them close to Sector 2. Or they could pick people up and maneuver them over to Terminal 3. Gonna be honest, it's a tough predicament here. Oddball is alive and in that BTR, so he might try to rally and grab a few guys and push them over to reinforce to take that terminal, because this fighting is irrelevant. But he doesn't also want to pull all of his forces away if they're engaged, but we do see some red on red going on right here. But I'm going to be honest, in Oddball's shoes, I wouldn't be maneuvering to the next terminal. I'd be dealing with this fight, and when it calms down in like 5 or 10 minutes, then I would be transitioning over. That would leave these guys out to high and dry, but you need to focus on preserving the bulk of your forces first. So if he divides too much away, that could allow the Bluefor element here to win out this fight and then come back and hit him. But at the same time, I also understand that if he gets one more position, he wins. So I can also see if he goes up to here and his guys are reporting they're winning that fight, just bringing some reinforcements to join him. He's just going for the points there at that point to win the round, not necessarily the fighting. But, I mean, he's got a lot of guys left on the field, but he doesn't have that level of perfect information. And even then, we see that the remaining 3 Bluefor guys are putting up one hell of a fight here, getting multiple knockouts. But can it continue? Or is Op4 finally going to beat out the remaining 3 Bluefor here? Wow, we see a beat out from an ACR against a machine gunner. We have Crazy over here. He heard those shots, but he was busy medicing, so he didn't react properly. Lolo looking around. I think he's trying to look for a place to medic. Little does he realize there's a guy right next to him. And if Crazy is close enough, he might be able to hear that medical and push. But will he spot him through the crevice? Throws a smoke grenade out. Crazy might be going for some medical on that one guy. We see that Lolo sees the smoke. Meanwhile, looking up here, it looks like Op4 got a kill on the northernmost Bluefor guy and the central guy, so Lolo's the only one remaining. Looks like Lolo found Crazy and gunned him down. Now you got Pi pushing his position. He's on 4 infantry kills and a vehicle kill. Got Germa up there. It's Jamera. I keep calling him Germa, though. Meanwhile, Op4 have brought in reinforcements and are going to start taking that terminal in a second. No explosive charge on the central building. We see Bluefor desperately pushing reinforcements out to try to assist, but Op4 have mounted up more forces. It's a 2-minute timer. They're bringing everything over. Can the BRDM intercept? It starts shooting. There's infantry on top of the BTR. We do see a little bit of blood splatter here. The 80 Alpha doesn't realize where it's being engaged from, staying a little longer in the engagement zone there, and is going to drop off forces in the open. Meanwhile, big chunk of infantry. This is the Gaz reinforcements. Realizing that the terminal's being taken. Ash now alone to stop the terminal fight, but that Gaz is now going to try to outnumber and take that sector. Ash comes in. Utilizing that smoke grenade. BRDM also coming in with some reinforcements. Can they beat out the 4 defenders here? That is actually, no, 3, my bad. Because that was flashing. I thought that was a number symbol. We do have 2 uncons, but they're both Bluefor, and then we have a third one that's Op4, who is being worked on. BRDM desperately coming up here. Op4 does have an AT member, though. At least I thought I saw one, but he could have died or gone uncon. Nope, we have an RPG-32 in play. He's trying to crawl out, climbs out instead. BRDM circling. Ash systematically trying to clear this position. And one guy gets out, trades. In this situation, though, it's a 2v2. 15 seconds left on the timer, though. I think it's over. Misano with the Maz. Gets taken out. And then we have Fawns come in and get the kill. Creates an opening for Ash, but it's too late. He stayed in that bunker, and the hack has been completed. Final sector, it is 4v5 on the southern side. Op4 have the number advantage. This is going to probably end up with a weekly score of Oddball with 20 and Catz with 0. But it is officially an Op4 victory because they now have 7 out of the 10 points. Can they get the cherry on top and get a perfect score, though, as they did in the previous round? And it just goes to show, I think it's because Op4 had better control of its infantry squads. So the reason the sector isn't being taken is because there's 4 Bluefor in the sector compared to 2 Op4. Ash tries to get out. And Fawns was waiting for him and immediately took him out. So that PvP's out. Wajak and Frox are stuck on the top. Now it's just up to the fight down here, but we're going to see Op4 reinforce it soon. BTR is going back probably to pick up the remaining infantry over here. Funny enough, now Op4 might be suffering a bit from the Overwatch fallacy, keeping forces in here instead of pushing on the final sector. I wouldn't say it was an easy GG. It just kind of transitioned that way in the second half of this round because it just, Op4 was better at maneuvering compared to Bluefor.
Hey Liru, really excited for the 12-hour stream today.
What?
So happy you are doing this.
What do you mean, Revanche? It's not a 12-hour stream today. It's a 24-hour stream over the weekend starting on Saturday. This is my only planned stream today. Don't freak me out like that. You've been with me for a while. Thanks for the 65-month resub, but don't give me a heart attack like that, buddy. I never said that would be a 12-hour stream today. I know there's another DayZ stream that's going to be 24-hour later in the week, but... Whew. Did your long range AT kill anyone at start? No, Lolo. It knocked somebody out, though, who was brought all the way to the middle of the sector, and then he eventually got stabilized with then double tap by an Op4 member. You don't have to lie. It's 12-hour state. Dude, don't screw me like that, man. I have to make dinner, and I got to make a few house calls to a few people to get the weekend organized. Funny enough, if the two Op4 actually pushed in the sector, they'd start taking it by now. You got infantry now trickling over to the other area. BTR is picking everybody up. This round will be over in 10 minutes tops. Shots coming out from Zixme, who's stolen a... no, he still has his AK-12. That looked like an ACR from my angle for a second. Tries to put shots out on Bobo. Rest of the Op4 trickling in on the freaking eastern side. GL's coming out. They just can't seem to find an angle on each other. Grenade or a GL comes in, gets a bit some wounds on some of the guys, though. That makes some of them fold into the building, potentially to do medical. Bobo taking fire again as he tries to line up his machine gun. Gets hit multiple times, but he's unable to get the kill on Zixme, who also gets hit multiple times. You can tell by the thickness of that blood pool. Now you got Oddball leading from the front here. This is where you do want to see your commander running in, because he's pretty much coordinated everyone else coming into the zone. At this point, he can charge right in and have fun, compared to the last round with Catz, who wasn't able to properly hurt all of his cats in before he charged in and got killed off. Timed grenade going in. We got 2 knockouts. 3 knockouts, actually, and that double taps one of them. Now we're going to start seeing the sector getting taken as it turns red, because Op4 have the number advantage in the zone. It is 4-1. Though it might be counting some of the on-con people as well, but I think for FNF's framework, it doesn't. One wake up. He is immediately double tapped by Samuel, who folds down. He's on 4 kills. Good for him. Machine gunner, I think, fired over. Oddball comes in and gets the kill. Zixme runs up. No, Ivno main ran up and got that kill. Zixme still doing a medical back there. And that is a wipe. Bluefor down to 2 additional forces on the north, but it's not going to be enough. 55 seconds remaining on the timer, and that is going to be GG. All right, if I have a mod in chat, feel free to pay it out to Op4. Otherwise, I will shortly after I end the stream. But that is going to be it. Tomorrow, we are going to have 2 streams. It's going to be 2 Zeus Ops. It's going to first be Black Templar versus Furries at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then 8 o'clock is going to be 506. Did the BTR really just come up and annihilate? That's... With the freaking AP autocannon, that is now Bluefor fully wiped. That's funny. But as I was saying, the second round is going to be the 506 doing Secret Squirrel, playing as UK British Commandos. British Commandos in the Korean War. They're going to be helping to take over an island. Revenge, god damn it. Just come back on Saturday at 1 p.m. when we start the 24-hour. $10 seconds, give or take, and that officiates a perfect score. The only 2 remaining Bluefor guys are knocked out in the terminal site. Oh, but I'm going to wrap it up here because it's over. Got it done in 4 out of the 10 minutes that I said it would take. But anyway, GG. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one. I think an Op4 guy just fired AT up at that as a joke, but good God. Oh, wait, no, real quick. Let me tap back in and see that. Samuel and Pi with 4 kills, Twig on 3. I just like to see who gets the most kills in the round. Anyway, peace.